All right, so got some laughs, got some jeers. Several Democratic lawmakers chose to stay home for the speech last night. That included New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Virginia Representative Jerry Connolly, and Senators Chris Murphy of Connecticut and Patty Murray of Washington State. Also skipping the address, Nevada Congresswoman Dina Titus, who is with us this morning. Congresswoman, thank you for your time. Why did you choose to skip the speech?
Well, I knew what he was going to say, and I didn't really feel like having everything that I believe in and I have fought for just trashed. And I saw it on TV, and that's exactly what happened.
The criticism, though, is you've got to be in the room to negotiate, to be part of the process, to have a conversation. How would you respond to the criticism that checking out is not the right thing?
I don't consider it checking out. I've been the adult in the room ever since he's been president the first time, and they don't play by the rules. So I don't think it was checking out. I think it was a protest. Now, in some ways, and all due respect to my Democratic colleagues, I thought we should have all boycotted it, frankly. Showing up just in a pink jacket and holding up those signs didn't really send across a very strong message of protest.
And to be fair, I mean, the antics are true on both sides of the aisle. We've seen Republicans do the same thing when a Democratic president is up there. But what do you say to Americans who say that's what's wrong with Washington? That's what we're tired of, is these antics. And the claim from the late night host, do something.
Well, you're right. They have certainly done it. I remember Marjorie Taylor Greene screaming out, so it's not anything new. But that all during the election, that's what people said. Why can't you just get together? Why can't you just get along, get something done for the American people? Well, we've put out a lot of olive branches. We've tried to reach across the aisle. Just look at the negotiations for keeping the government open. When you stick out your arm, it turns out they just chop it off.
Let's talk about some of the things that the president addressed, accomplishments he said he's made and things he plans to do while in office this second term. Here is what he said about new tariffs on China, Mexico, and Canada.
If you don't make your product in America, however, under the Trump administration, you will pay a tariff, and in some cases, a rather large one. April 2nd, reciprocal tariffs kick in. And whatever they tariff us, other countries, we will tariff them. That's reciprocal, back and forth.
There are a lot of Americans, Congresswoman, who support that, who are willing to put up with some pain and a little disturbance to get to a greater good in the end, and say the tariffs against us have been unfair. What are your concerns with the tariffs?
Well, he kind of skipped over that. He didn't spend a lot of time talking about the tariffs, because you have heard many economists, business people, including Target stores, say these tariffs are going to raise prices. We're going to be the ones who pay it, not China, not Canada, not Mexico, and they're going to have negative impact by raising prices. Now, he said there'll be a little trouble, a little problem, but we can get over it. Well, we don't know what that means. The stock market fell when he announced that he's going to do these reciprocal tariffs. You know, it used to be do unto others as you would have them do unto you, not we're going to do you back because you send us tariffs. I mean, it's going to raise the prices of everything. And in my district, it has two impacts. One, raising the cost of housing, which we desperately need, affordable housing. And second, it's going to impact tourism. If you don't have any money in your pocket because prices are high, you're not going to go on holiday. And Canadians and Mexicans are the ones who are our biggest tourist visitors. They're not going to come. So it's going to have a lot of negative impacts that people just aren't anticipating.
The government cuts federally have also raised a lot of eyebrows. They have a lot of support, but I know among the Democratic Party, a lot of concern. The president touted the cuts made by DOGE, led by Elon Musk. Here he is on that.
We are draining the swamp. It's very simple. And the days of rule by unelected bureaucrats are over.
Your response to that, Congresswoman?
Well, there's a great irony in the fact that he says unelected bureaucrats when you're looking right there at Musk. He's certainly not elected, non-accountable, has no connection to anything the public voted for, and he's the one making all these cuts. So that's the first problem with that. Second problem is, yeah, we want more efficiency, and there are some ways that we could cut, but you don't just go in with the buzzsaw like he was holding up at the conservative convention, cutting everything. Cutting people who give out Social Security checks, cutting veterans who work at the VA, cutting USAID, which is such a small part of the budget, but it contributes so much to our soft power, making fun of African countries, saying nobody's heard of them. We're not going to give them any help. That's just not the way that you make government more efficient and bring services better to the American public.
Congresswoman Dina Titus, I appreciate your time this morning. Thanks for the conversation.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Today, Vice President